over 40 years.
Welcome back to NTA Nationwide. Federal government partners Geneva on wildlife preservation. Let's join Fatai for more on this report and other stories.
Kenneth, good to have you with us in Ibadan. The federal government is partnering the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora CITES Secretariat, Geneva, to protect and develop species of threatened wildlife in Nigeria. Kenny Akinwande has an update on the Minister of Environment visit to Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria in Ibadan.
It is a source of concern that some trees are being traded within and outside Nigeria, thereby affecting their existence and that of other wildlife species. To curb the act, the Ministry of Environment and the delegates from CITES Geneva were on an inspection tour of Ofrin to assess facilities which included botanical gardens, nurseries, laboratories and wildlife research sections. This was also to enable them ascertain the institution's capability to protect and preserve endangered wildlife species.
We don't take care of these things. If we don't do research to break into new fields, they run the risk of getting into extinction, and that will not be good for the country, that will not be good for the coming generation.
But we need first the authorities in Nigeria, and a key actor that I think will take time to engage is the states, because they have a lot of responsibilities in the management of their own resources.
With the collaboration, it is expected in a couple of months, CITES will release its findings and names of endangered species as one of the steps to preserve wildlife in the country. In Ibadan, Kenny Akinwande, NTA News.
In another development, information and communication experts have advocated the need to strengthen the work framework in ICT sector to foster synergy among existing ICT institutions in Nigeria. Kayode Oladoshu has details.
In a determined move to harness opinions from stakeholders in the information and communication technology sector to help fashion the future for Nigerian communications industry, Minister of Communications Adebayo Shitu called for a unified effort among stakeholders and agencies of the sector.
It is now appreciated that ICT is not just an enabler of development, but indeed a catalyst to development.
In view of this, stakeholders in the sector have agreed that the seamless framework will drive the sector to promote economic growth.
One of the major outcomes will be, first of all, a review of the 2012 ICT policy. Why is it necessary? Because we understand that the IT landscape is very, very dynamic. There are changes in technology, so we review it from time to time to be sure that we are in line with the emerging trends.
We're going to use our platform, that vital national infrastructure, to assist government to really achieve the goals of the economic recovery and growth plan.
The retreat was organized to stimulate critical thinking that can lead to achievement of ICT in contributing to national development, with the team mobilizing ICT institutions for driving economic recovery and growth in Ibadan. Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
Moving on, Nigerians have been told to embrace righteous virtues that will impart on the development and peaceful coexistence in the country. This was the first of a message delivered at the annual Ramadan lecture organized by NTA Ibadan Network Center. Kenny Akinwande again reports.
The 5th annual Ramadan lecture of the Nigerian Television Authority Ibadan Network Center in memory of late Are Musulmi of Yoruba land Al-Haji Abdulaziz Arishekola Alao played host to Muslim faithful from across the state. Guest lecturer Sheikh Dikrulai Safini advised Muslims to be pious in their day-to-day activities to evolve a better society. He maintained that the lecture titled Taqwa, Manual to Heavenly and Earthly Bliss, is a call to individuals to refrain and repent from all forms of social vices.
Whatever we do, we are accountable to Allah in the hereafter.
Zonal Director, Ibadan Network Center, and other dignitaries asked Muslims to fear Allah during and after Ramadan.
What we learned during the lecture will go a long way in making us a better citizen. Any act of charity will attract abundant reward from the Almighty.
High points at the event included recitation of the Holy Quran and fidal prayer for the late Alhaji Abdulaziz Arishekola Lao in Ibadan. Kemi Akiwande, NTA News.
Dangote Foundation supports less privileged in Borno. Nami is our guide in Maiduguri for the next set of reports on Nationwide. Over to you.
Fatai and a warm welcome to Maiduguri. The Dangote Foundation has been described as the single largest private sector donor in the reconstruction of insurgency-affected areas of the state. Governor Kashim Shettima said this while flagging off the 2018 distribution of Dangote Foundation assorted food items and inspection of Dangote village for victims of the insurgency and less privilege ahead of inauguration. Muhammad Gumi completes the report.
Items presented to the beneficiaries by the Dangote Foundation include rice, pasta, millet, maize, and sugar, among others. Governor Kashim Shettima noted the continued support of the foundation to the people of the state during the period of insurgency, including the 1 billion naira worth of building materials and over 300 trucks of assorted food and non-food items.
The beauty of the Aliko Dangote Foundation is that most of the initiatives, if not all, are bottom-up approach solutions.
Managing Director Dangote Foundation Zoira Yusuf, who is represented by Mala Musa Bala, said the food items are meant to complement the efforts of the Borno State government. SEMA Executive Chairman Yabawa Kolo said the donation of food items was timely and appreciated the foundation for its concern to the plight of the less privileged in the state. Meanwhile, Governor Kashim Shettima has inspected Dangote village preparatory to its inauguration in June, where he set up an allocation committee for the village with Commissioner for Reconstruction as chairman, directing that 70% of the estate be allocated to widows with children who have no means of livelihood. The governor inspected Dangote Primary School within the estate, where he directed installation of care teaching technology, solar light, and the provision of furniture as well as kitchen for the school. He equally directed landscaping of the 200 housing estate and the planting of trees, and asked the Reconstruction and Resettlement Commissioner to expedite action to meet the deadline. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Gurani, NTA News.
Internally displaced persons in one of the largest camps in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, have received federal government intervention through the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Displaced Persons. The Al-Miskin IDP camp received a large government humanitarian relief from the Commission in form of food items. Olin Kujevana reports.
El Miskin IDP Center is one of the largest camps with about 1,900 households from 9 local government areas, giving a total of over 10,000 IDPs. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, Sadia Umar Farouk, represented by an Assistant Director of Operations, Bello Mohamed Bello, said the Commission has always felt for the IDPs, and given that it is Ramadan period, hence the donation. Over 400 bags of rice, millet, beans and maize, as well as almost 200 cartons and gallons of cooking oil were distributed, where the camp coordinator, Khalifa El Miskin, thanked the Commission for the gestures. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
The Victims Support Fund has sustained the rebuilding of public infrastructure destroyed by Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast region. The Michika Local Government Secretariat in Adamawa State, destroyed by the terrorists, is among public structures reconstructed by the VSF. Mary Adam reports.
The edifice, which groundbreaking ceremony was done in September 2017, cost is put at 387 million naira, will restore basic social amenities and facilitate the re-establishment of local governance, as well as encourage returned local government workers who were earlier displaced. The Chairman Victims Support Fund, General Tiwa Enjuma, at the inauguration, represented by the Vice Chairman of the fund, Tijani Tumsa, was emphatic that that resources were judiciously utilized and promised to do more with the cooperation of state governments to bring succor to victims of insurgency. The governor of Adamawa State, Muhammad Umar Jibrilla, represented by his deputy, Martins Babali, said the edifice is symbolic to the peace architecture the state is about to establish for peace enterprise. The Executive Secretary Victim Support Fund, Professor Sunday Uchechi, said out of the 500 million naira initial cost of the project, only 387 million naira was expended and called on the Adamawa State government to furnish the edifice. The senator representing the northern zone of the state, Binta Masi Garba, member, Michika Madagali Federal House of Representatives, Adamu Kamali, both make a case for Madagali local government, which was also destroyed. The chairman, Victim Support Fund, in company of other dignitaries, visited one of the constructed school center of Madagali local government. In Yola, Mary Adamu, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Back to Kenny in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Naomi. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has charged public relations practitioners to collaborate with the federal government in a bid to promote the positive gains of the Buhari-led administration against the opposition's desperation to put the government in bad light. The minister stated this while inaugurating the new Nigerian Institute of Public Relations Governing Council in Abuja. Anthony Folson reports.
The minister explained that his call on them for a collaboration is born out of the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari has left no stone unturned to fix the economy, contain insecurity, and fight corruption. Naysayers, he maintained, are bent on looking the other way.
Public relations practitioners, whether working for government or not, must never be tired of projecting the image of the establishments, even when some people decide to play the blind or the spoiler. They must never be discouraged or allow themselves to be disenchanted.
The minister, while ruling out the present administration scorecard, said from an inherited 2,690 megawatts, power generation has hit an all-time high of 7,000 megawatts. Taking Nigeria closer to food sufficiency, rice farmers, he said, have increased from 5 million to 11 million, just as importation of rice, which grabs $1.65 billion, dropped by 90%. The present administration is feeding 8.2 million pupils in 45,394 schools in 24 states. This has in turn created employment for 87,261 cooks. The federal government, Lai Mohammed stressed, has invested over 2.7 trillion naira on infrastructure alone in 2 years. With an economy that is back on the path of growth, the government, he said, is fully focused on its rescue mission.
While naysayers say they have not seen all these achievements, Nigerians who are benefiting directly from them have testified to the reality of the success.
President and Chairman NIPR Governing Council, Mukhtar Zubairu Siraju, said the time has come for the Institute to close ranks with like minds and pursue a common agenda that will seek to promote the unity and indivisibility of the country, just as poor management of public communication must be checked because it fuels hate speech and promotes fake news.
One of the major issues facing our nation today is the attempt by unpatriotic political actors and conflict merchants to drum up often phantom fault lines that divide rather than the many factors that unite the various constituent parts of our nation. The best way to address and allay many of the fears being expressed by different segments of our society is to widen the space for dialogue. We shall support government in this regard.
Highlight of the event was the formal handing over of the reins of the Institute to the new president and the decoration of the minister. In Abuja, Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
Now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the government will study the request of FCT indigents soliciting ministerial appointment in accordance with the laws of the land. The SGF promised this when he received the honor of Abaji and Chairman of the FCT Traditional Council, Alhaji Adamu Junusa, in his office. Ahmed Ondas Ahmed now reports.
In order to give the indigents of FCT the sense of belonging in the federal system, Boss Mustafa says the request is worth consideration.
Certainly, no FCT indigents have ever been so appointed under the constitutional democracy. It is therefore my humble appeal that the Federal Executive Council should be enlarged to include at least one indigent of FCT.
And it's an interpretation of the Constitution that in these matters, FCT ought to be considered as a state. And we are hoping that at least these issues can be looked at.
In another development, the 2017-2018 Miss Nigeria Peace Ehugose, while on a visit to the LGFCs, a pet project will focus on the displaced persons in the northeast in order to alleviate their plight resulting from the activities of insurgents in the region.
People look up to the Miss Nigeria crown most times. That is why I want to lay good foundation and give them examples to work with, and not just reign and end their reign without having any solid thing that I have done or that stands for what I believe in.
Boss Mustafa expresses happiness that a daughter of Northeast region emerged Miss Nigeria and commended her for choosing children as beneficiaries of a pet project and promised to support her. Ahmed Ondas Ahmed, NTA News.
The need for a collaborative effort amongst Nigerians to ensure a hate-free general elections in 2019 is the thrust of a public policy dialogue Africa in Abuja. The theme of the interactive session is Democracy, National Security and 2019 General Elections. Chukwunonsoma Bweze reports.
Considering Nigeria's strategic position in the Committee of Nations, its internal affairs, especially issues of security and elections, usually attract global attention. As the 2019 general elections draw nearer, participants at this policy dialogue are not only strategizing to complement federal government's efforts toward the conduct of a peaceful, free and fair elections, but also to fashion out ways of strengthening the nation's security architecture.
At this particular point in time, we must see that the best for our nation is given. We believe that we have a lot to contribute to nation building.
For you to have an effective security apparatus across the country, the people of that country must be ever ready to volunteer information.
But I want us to go beyond the box, think outside the box and see that it is not just Nigeria. We need cooperation with neighboring countries.
We have failed as a region in the sense that we have not looked at that core problem and tried to address it, to lift these people out of poverty, to give them a hope so that they will be properly engaged rather than turning to violence as a means of survival.
The outcome of the dialogue is expected to be forwarded to relevant authorities for consideration. In Abuja, Chukwunonsoma Bweze, NTA News.
As political activities build up ahead of the 2019 general elections, the Social Democratic Party has adopted a revised constitution and logo as legal working documents and parts of strategy to expand membership drive. These form part of resolutions at the party's National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Addressing the media at the end of the closed-door meeting, National Chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Chief Ulufalaye, says, in addition to the strategy adopted, the party is working to ensure all inclusiveness through a new manifesto.
We have emphasized the new constitution, the need to devolve power and responsibility accordance with our advocacy for a restructured Nigerian polity.
Chief Olufalaye says NEC has agreed to hold congresses to fill vacant positions where necessary, while encouraging members to work towards the success of the party at the polls. The party's candidate for the Ekiti governorship election and the adopted revised SDP logo were officially presented to public during the meeting. The NEC meeting had in attendance party leaders from across the country. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In the meantime, the support base of President Muhammadu Buhari continues to swell ahead of the 2019 general elections. This is evidenced by the declaration of support for his re-election bid by the Movement of Progressive Youths of Nigeria in Abuja. Victor Azo reports that a decision was taken at the Barracks inaugural meeting in Abuja.
Listing some of the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari to include recovery of looted funds, strides in different sectors of the economy, especially transport, and signing into law of the Not Too Young to Run bill. These youths, under the auspices of Movement of Progressive Youths of Nigeria (MOPION), have pledged unflinching support to the re-election bid of the president.
Those in favor that President Muhammadu Buhari should be returned come 2019, please vote by raising your hand. Say why? I think the eyes are with.
Rising from its maiden meeting, the group says it is ready to mobilize millions of votes for the president during the 2019 elections.
This group intends to metamorphose after now into the original mobilizing force to return President Muhammadu Buhari back to seat, to finally kill corruption and take this economy to the next level.
Mr. Wong also explains that the group, under the mentorship of the Minister of Transport, Chibika Amechi, will drive the positive contribution of the Nigerian youth to national development. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
We'll take another break now. Nationwide continues shortly.
NTA Television College Jos admission forms for diploma program in film and television production, television engineering technology, broadcast journalism, and degree programs in mass communication, television journalism, and mass communication television production is now on sale. The sale of forms will commence 14th May and go to 13th August 2018 at the cost of 7,500 Naira only per form, payable through the Remita platform in favor of NTA Television College Jos. Forms can be obtained from all marketing offices in NTA State Capital Stations, zonal centers, training directorate of the NTA headquarters Abuja, and the office of the academic secretary of the NTA Television College. Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE, SSCE in relevant areas of study, including English and mathematics, in not more than 2 sittings. All completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before the 13th of August 2018 to the stations where the forms were obtained. For further inquiries, please contact the office of the academic secretary on these numbers. Announcer, Registrar.
Brought us as usual. As usual.
We take that one. You don't understand. We want Nigeria homegrown life. Finish.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice.
Are you sorry? Look, that's the Nigerian rice you're talking about.
Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food.
I'm going to bring Mrs. Novolia with their noodle. To go to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how we can make. Correct. How they cook it. Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and gives employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first, get it fresh.
Thank you for staying tuned. Nigeria-Argentina friendly match set for Saturday at Wembley as 4 Russian cities await Nigeria hospitality house at the World Cup. For details, let's bring you sports update. Nigeria Super Eagles are set to take on 3 Lions of England in an international friendly at the Wembley Stadium Saturday as both teams continue the build-up to 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. The match will be the 3rd time both teams would meet after their goalless draw at the Korea-Japan 2002 World Cup and in a 1994 friendly at the old Wembley Stadium in which the Eagles lost by a lone goal scored by David Platt.
You can get goals, especially against the defense of England these days that looks very, very shaky.
Nigeria have one more pre-World Cup friendly lined up after the England game in which they will face Czech Republic on June 6 in Austria before they take on Croatia, Iceland and Argentina in the group stage of the competition in Russia. Meanwhile, as the 2018 FIFA World Cup draws nearer, the Nigeria House Project Committee says it has made adequate arrangements to showcase the best of the nation's image and heritage to the world, with hospitality activities set to hold in Moscow, Kaliningrad, Volgograd and St. Petersburg.
We calling on all Nigerians that will be going to Russia and those that will be staying back home here to wish the Super Eagles well and to also ensure that we give good account of ourselves as a disciplined people and as a disciplined nation.
The first ever International Bicycle Day is set for a huge commemoration in Nigeria June 3rd, 2018 in the Federal Capital Territory, with the Cycling Federation of Nigeria organizing series of activities to mark the day on Monday, June 4th and Tuesday, June 5th, with sports. And that's our package on today's NTA Nationwide. Thanks indeed for watching. My name is Kenan Ima Awodike. Do be on the lookout for more news sessions on our transmission today. Bye-bye.
Yes, and I think it might, but it's good for the Nigerian league having 2 players. We had 3 players, and 2 now have been dropped in Dele Ajibore and Juno Lakosa. We still have our reliable Ezinwa, and the truth is, it's a big confidence telling these players you are recognized. I saw him in camp. I saw how excitement, there's the bonding with the foreign players, and there's no sentiments. There's no you play in the local league, I play in the foreign. I saw him with Iwobi having this bromance, and it's glad to see.
Okay, this is still Football Fans Forum from the studio of NTA2Lagos Network Center. You can be part of this program by phoning in. But before you do that, turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you loud and clear. And the rules is to be followed. If you don't follow our rules, definitely we will let you go so that we allow into the forum those that can abide or those who knows how to keep the rules. Then the rules is turn down the volume of the TV set before you put the call through to us. The phone number is 070-350-89584. Let me take that again. 070-350-89584. If you are home and there is no power supply at home, you can pick up your phone as long as you have internet facility. Just go to www.youtube.com/NTA2Lagos. You get to see us live and let's get the discussion rolling. Super Eagles of Nigeria, the 23-man list is out. The squad, they are ready to go. They have 1 match tomorrow against the 3 Lions of England, and then the last one will be coming on the 6th of June, this new month. We want to see how these guys will make us proud again 24 years after making us proud in USA. Back to you. Yes. So 23 months. Are you satisfied with the
I am. We can still make do with what we have. But one thing is, and I'm so proud of, is the players we are taking and the kind of friendlies we are playing. We are playing the 3 Lions, and which friendly comes bigger than playing the 3 Lions in this form? We have the Harry Kane, we have Ramsdale, we have Dele Alli, we have a formidable side, and we are bringing our side, playing them at home. I remember we played them prior to the 1990
exactly. Same stadium. Exactly. I said that was the old Wembley. Now it's the new Wembley. The name still remains the same. Exactly. And Ekong was saying he was a former Tottenham player and was talking about how himself and Harry Kane were good friends. And one thing I see is taking Nigeria to play England in Wembley in England is a morale booster.
Okay, is a morale booster. Let us watch some of the highlights from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We'll drive.
I welcome you all to State House for this farewell reception as we prepare to depart for the FIFA 2018 World Cup Finals in the Russian Federation. You are going to represent us in Russia. You must bear in mind that you are not just going for atonement. With each game, you must remember that you are carrying the passions, emotions, and feelings of over 180 million people. Play fair and clean, but demonstrate the gallant spirit which Nigerians are known for. Nothing unites Nigerians more than football, and nothing will gladden the people of Nigeria than for you to acquit yourselves honorably by winning in Russia. You are the youngest team in the tournament, which means you are likely the most inexperienced team, a fact that will not be lost on your opponents. But it is also something you can use to your advantage. You have the full support and the blessings of all Nigerians who will look up to you for as long as the tournament lasts. I commend the Nigerian Football Federation for drawing up the right program that is helping to refine the team into the powerhouse which is meant to be. Excuse me. This is our time. We look up to you to make us proud. All Nigerians join me in saying to you, best of luck. Thank you, and God be with you all.
What more do you expect? Fatherly advice, promise fulfilled from #1 citizen to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They are well motivated. Everything is on course. We are waiting to see how they are going to perform. Will they deliver? Only time will tell. Back to Robert Ndedeland. Money-wise, yes, everything is in place. Yes. Support, moral support, yes, everything is in order. Yes. And boosting of morale, they have it all. Yes. And sending them off, yes, the handshake and the rest of them, goodie bags. The best World Cup preparation. The best World Cup. Exactly. So we should expect the best performance. We should. We are giving them everything, giving them the moral support, the financial support, the fatherly love, the nation love, and you are sending them off. Go live our warriors. Okay. Go and find this work for us. And the truth is, this is the first time Super Eagles will be having Grade A back-to-back friendlies. Okay. And it's awesome. And having this kind of players, giving them this motivation, playing England, playing Czech, then playing Croatia at the World Cup, I think is a morale booster. Okay. Hello, we have a call. Hello. Hello, can you hear us? Your name and where you calling us from? Hello. Okay, we lost the call. Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are ready to go, and we are waiting to see what they will deliver. Will they go beyond? No, we don't want second round. That is what everybody, the fans are saying. We want them to get to the even call last week and say Super Eagles will win the World Cup. And we told him that we'll bring him into the studio here. The program remains Football Fans Forum, and the studio is NTA2Lagos Network Center. You can be part of the forum. The discussion is Super Eagles, the send-off and everything. Are you satisfied? And if yes, which player do you think should be on that list that is left out? The number is 070-350-89584. Get into the forum and let's start talking. Hello. Hello, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Saka Aziz. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Saka Aziz from AJC. Turn down the volume of the TV set. Turn down the volume of the TV set. I can't hear you, and you can't hear me either.
So I can hear you.
Please turn down the volume of the TV set completely.
Yeah.
All right, what is your contribution? I'm listening. We are listening.
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay. They should focus on themselves. Not that they will be on the stage now. They will just start misbehaving.
Okay.
Can you understand me?
Yeah, get 100% focus.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to count 20 sound words.
Yeah. Oh, we are talking about self-glory.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your call. Thank you very much. We appreciate your call. Yeah. Saka from Ajigule is saying the Super Eagles should focus more on delivering the goodies.
They should not go first. Yeah, exactly.
Back to you.
Yes.
I'm looking at something like they said, if you over-pamper a child,
Yeah.
a child will
You get to get spoiled.
Yes.
No. One thing I see about the Super Eagles, they are determined. Yes, we have arguably the youngest squad to the World Cup, you see the bond, and when you have all these motivations, what more do you want?
Okay, they played at home.
Yes, against Congo, the Leopards of Congo,
and it was even a defender,
yes,
that came from back to score the goal.
Yes.
To the strikers.
I'll tend to defend that.
And then they're going to play the Three Lions tomorrow.
Yes.
And the Three Lions, you know them, they are all attacking team.
Yes.
They go forward. Numbers.
Yeah,
and then the Czech Republic they're talking about, yes, are also very attack-minded. So,
yes.
Is it a good chance for the Super Eagles?
The team that played the Leopards of Congo, you know, it's a makeshift team.
Sorry, we have a call again. Hello. Good evening. Tell us the name where you're calling us from.
Okay, I'm from Ikoyi.
Okay, from Ikoyi. So, what is your contribution?
I think it's a very nice election to me.
Okay.
Whoever is complaining about that state of things, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, thank you.
And the only area we need to work on
Keeper. Goalkeeping department.
Motivation of the players so that they should work like a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want them to have one team spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you. I wish them the very best of luck.
We all wish them best of luck. Thank you very much. We appreciate. All right, yeah. So now we're looking at players playing
the fullback
today, tomorrow, second.
Yes.
Then few days, 4 days after, we'll be meeting Czech Republic, and then World Cup will be just 6 days away.
Yes.
Don't you think it will somehow tell on their physical? Hello, we have another call. Hello. Good evening. This is Football Fans Forum. What is your name and what is your name? I just say one. Please do us a favor by turning down the volume of the TV set because I can hear myself. Have you done that? Well, I just say one. The rules in the studio here, or the rules rather into the forum, is turn down the volume of the TV set completely so that we can hear you. Otherwise, I will have no option than to allow the people who knows how to keep the rules to get into the forum. This is Football Fans Forum live from the studio of NTA2Lagos Network Center. If you don't have power supply at home, go on to your Android device, BlackBerry, any smartphone at all. If you have internet facility on it, just go to www.youtube.com/NTA2Lagos and you get to see us live streaming. And then we're going to talk. We're talking about the Super Eagles. Yes, World Cup is just around the corner, and the Super Eagles will be playing the Three Lions of England tomorrow. It's not the World Cup proper. This one is an international friendly warm-up game towards the World Cup, and then we're playing the Czech Republic on the 6th also of this month. And we want to see whether these guys will be able to beat the 2 times World Cup winner Argentina and the 1-time semi-finalist Croatia, and then the newcomers, the Icelandese. We don't know if Super Eagles will win the World Cup and the prediction of Pelé of Brazil will come to pass. Back to you.
Yes. We were saying something about the Congo friendly game.
Yes.
It was a makeshift thing. You knew Simi was playing, the coach was playing new players besides Mikel Ogu. He played few players that were not even the regular. He was trying to juggle up the team and see.
We have that particular match. And I sat at home watching that game. Yes. And I discovered that some of them were trying to protect their legs. They don't want to miss out on the list. If you go enjoy the out, like Moses is outside of Moses.
Yes, it's out.
So I discovered that they were playing, this
very careful
hide and seek game.
Yes,
and then the pitch wasn't also that good enough. But at the same time, I discovered that it was only the lads that were not so sure of their position, that were hungry and trying to show themselves.
One aspect I would like to do. One aspect I would like, Uzo has really grown in confidence.
Super Eagles in training.
Yes, and the way the friendly he had against Serbia, the game wasn't too confident, and the one he had yesterday, he showed he has grown in leaps and bounds. And one thing about I see Ibuchi is trying to claim the number 2 spot from Shehu Abdullahi, and you can see a change in his showing his seniority despite not coming in to give away the penalty. But one thing I see is this. Hello, tell us the name of where you're calling us from. One of Uber, turn down the volume of the TV set. Uber is quite far, so I don't want to lose it now. Your TV is echoing back into the forum. Turn down the volume of the TV set. Please, we are appealing to you. The forum is for all of us. It's not for one person. We need to hear you, so that communication is a two-way thing. If you are not hearing me, then it's not communication. If I'm not hearing you, then it's also not communication. Turn down the volume of the TV set so that you can hear each other very clear. Make your point. The forum is open. 07035089584. We're talking about the Super Eagles, and the friendlies. Yes.
I'm looking at the one on the 6th. Too close.
Yes. These boys are professionals. They've been playing week in, week out. Few days at the World Cup. They've been having breaks and all of that. You have to be in form. You have to be in the rhythm of the game. So our coach is trying to make them feel in the rhythm of the game. Playing on the 2nd, playing on the 6th, and few days again they'll play. So you have to. Too much all of day, you can lose form. So it's just stay focused. Play the Czech Republic game, stay in the team, train hard, and take Croatia.
Hello. Good evening. Your name and where you calling us from? Arishokola. What is the second name? Arishokola who? Abiodun. Thank you, because I know one prominent Arishokola. That's why I'm asking if he's the one. Alright, tell us. But do you know that the Holy Book also say that heaven helps those who help themselves? Alright, I've got to your point. Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Oh, God bless Nigeria, bye-bye. The guy is saying Muslims should use this opportunity to pray hard. Super Eagles, pray hard. He said pray hard for the Super Eagles to go to Russia and bring the cup back. Yes. It's a tall order. That's when our final break. We'll be right back.
Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo could only manage a draw in their first match in preparation for the 2018 Russia World Cup. At home in Port Harcourt, the Super Eagles first scored within 15 minutes thanks to William Chus-Dekon, defender of the Turkish club Bursaspor. Congolese TP Mazembe striker Ben Malango Ingita equalized for the Leopards in the 78th minute. Coach of the Super Eagles, Gernot Rohr, said the final result was not the most decisive factor in the match.
We saw the young players, they did very well. We scored a wonderful goal. We could score a second one, and in the end there was a penalty. So we didn't win the match, but it was a very interesting test for everybody.
Key Super Eagles players like Captain Mikel Obi or Dion Ingalo were rested by Gernot Rohr for the encounter. The Super Eagles will face Croatia, Iceland and Lionel Messi's Argentina in Group D in Russia.
Welcome back. Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are putting everything into proper shape so that we get to see a spectacular show in Russia. Argentina Here they come, Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's only I don't think as Argentina will be okay. Before I get there, let me pick this call. Hello. Good evening. Tell us your name and where you calling us from. Caleb Yakubu, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from here.
Victoria Island. Go ahead. What is your contribution?
My contribution is I want the list of the players because I don't know who is about the
Yeah, we have
time will not permit us to roll out the names for you now, but just keep watching Football Fans Forum. By this time next week, you get to see the graphic detail of the players that will be in Russia. Are you okay with that?
I'm very okay.
Thank you very much. The guy is happy that he called into the show, so excitement. So maybe he has been trying all this while and he put through today. So congratulations once more for getting into the forum. So back to you. Let us quickly talk about the Champions League. Yes. Last week, everybody was like, Madrid make it a treble. Yes, and they did. Yes. Salah was pulled down maliciously. Yes. And Salah was out, and Liverpool spirit went down. Yes. And today, the Zenit has stepped down while the ovation is still very high. Yes. So tell us quickly something. Yeah. The Champions League and Madrid and Zidane. Yeah. Champions League. We know Madrid were the specialists of finals. 3 finals. Back to back. Exactly. Madrid winning 4 Champions League. 3 back-to-back, and what more do you want? See Ronaldo, Ramos showing them that they are the big boys. And Liverpool already had a plan here in Mohamed Salah. Hello. Good evening. Tell us your name and where you calling us from. Yeah, good evening. Tell us your name and where you calling us from. I'm calling from Agege. How are you doing today? And how is Agege? Okay, David Odi. All right, go ahead and make a contribution. Okay. I'm listening. Moses Simon, go ahead. He is injured and is out. He's not going to be recovered. He will recover in time for the World Cup. He's not going to World Cup. Is he a brother? There's no particular about him. I am not asking about Victor Moses. Thank you very much. So then stepping down. Yes, they're calling an emergency press report, and he's stepping down. He wants to have a break, and maybe he'll just come into the Premier League. Oh, really? Yes. Okay. So, is it? Let us look at Salah. Yes. Salah was a target. Yes. And they succeeded. Job well done. Don't you think UEFA need to do something more in protecting superstars that, Liverpool team or squad was built around Salah, and football is a contact sport. Yes. And when you get to watch the replays, Salah held Sergio Ramos first. No. He went to the other side. Yes. And Ramos put his hand like yes. When you have and when the player is going down, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to leave his hand? Yes. When you have people like hello, one of the days when you have soft defender. Hello, we had our own gentle giant. We have Taribo. We have Okon. Taribo wasn't that giant, but he knows how to. Yes. We have very good understanding. If you talk about giant, you talk about Uche. That was late Uche Okafor. Exactly. We have Stephen Keshi. You have people that when you see them, Nesta, Maldini, Jamstam, Vidic, people that you see and you don't want to run towards. And when Salah knew it was Sergio Ramos, was one of the dirtiest defenders that I know. You get the job done, clean but not clean. So when you have people like that, this particular day, yes, it was a job well done. I wasn't happy seeing him walking on that pitch till the end of the match because he committed blunders all over the pitch and he got away with it. And they won the Champions League because Madrid is a brand that needs to win more money for. Okay. Yes. Well, it hurts me for Liverpool fans because they don't know when they'll be in the Champions League final, maybe qualifying to the second round. Okay, we have our last call. Hello. Good evening. Tell us your name. You are our last call for today. Where is DD2? From where? Lekki. From Lekki. Go ahead. What is the contribution?
My contribution is that the president has already given
okay. 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 Thank you very much. I appreciate your call. Thank you for coming on the show today. No more time for us.
Yes, it's always no more time.
Alright, that is how far we can go on the show today. We hope you enjoyed the show. On behalf of the entire crew here, have yourself a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
Customs Service, however, reports
and all that. Nobody said anybody stole money, so that wasn't the issue.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has said that it has been faithfully remitting all revenues accruing to it to the Federation account. A release by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division of NNPC, Mr. Ndu Uhamadu, said the Group Managing Director of the Corporation, Dr. Mekanti Baru, gave the clarification to members of the Senate Committee on Petroleum Upstream who were at the corporate headquarters of the corporation in Abuja on an oversight visit. Dr. Baru said allegations of non-remittance of funds had become a recurrent decimal over the years, occasioned in part to the nature of the corporation's operations, which involved credit lines requiring constant audit and reconciliation.
Remittances or non-remittances contributions that have went to us is not something that is someone was engaged. It's another agency activity. Of course, to do with payment of loans, but the Federation account themselves, they know what it will be. So, whatever money that is this integration will do with integration, we don't worry about anything.
Further putting the issue in perspective, Dr. Baru stated that such allegations usually arose from disagreements over expenses borne by the corporation on behalf of the federal government. On efforts by the NNPC to ensure that joint venture, JV, and production sharing contract, PSC partners do not run excessive bills at the expense of the nation, the GMD explained that apart from the establishment of an efficiency unit in the corporation to ensure value for money across all operations, NNPC had also done a lot in renegotiating contracts as well as benchmarking costs in keeping with international best practices, adding that the effort had yielded significant results in terms of reduction in the cost of crude oil production per barrel in the industry. Also responding to a question on why the PSC agreements had not been reviewed for a long time despite clauses in the agreements that stipulate periodic review, Dr. Baru disclosed that a presidential approval had been secured and that a committee will be set up soon to carry out the review. He, however, disclosed that in the absence of a comprehensive review, NNPC had looked at projects on a project-by-project basis and raised observations which some of the partners had taken permission to present before the management. Speaking earlier, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum Upstream, Senator Omotayo Olasho Adura, who led members of the committee on the oversight visit, said the committee would like to have a month-by-month crude oil production figures for the past 2 years and crude prices for the period.
Everybody knows that Dr. Baru is very knowledgeable as far as the oil industry is concerned. We have an idea that may be very useful to him and the industry. So we're here to see what they are doing and to also enrich, the programs that is being carried out by NNPC.
The management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is fine-tuning strategies to enhance its position
as a fully integrated national energy company ready to prosper despite the changing dynamics of the global oil and gas industry. A release by Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Mr. Ubu Ramadu, said the Group Managing Director of the corporation, Dr. Mekanti Barrow, disclosed this at the NNPC's first quarter 2018 Top Management Steering Committee STERCO meeting held at the NNPC Towers in Abuja. Dr. Barrow, who admitted the tremendous changes at play in the petroleum industry landscape globally, said it behooved oil companies to, as a long-term survival strategy, adapt to the changes for efficiency, growth, and profitability.
We set out 12 business focal areas, those are policy of all. And in doing that, we have to be able to measure our performance so that we can see how much we are doing, how we are achieving this.
Speaking at the meeting, Chief Operating Officer COO Downstream Engineer Henry Ikemubi said a lot of work had been done towards getting NNPC on the same pedestal with its peers, even as he commended the commitment and the resolve of the GMD at investing in NNPC's downstream supply and distribution assets.
It just means that we position ourselves from the historical paradigm, which was one of an entity that was built to serve the needs and the wills of the people by being more of an intervention engine to one that is actually out there to create value and create shareholder value for the government and the people of Nigeria.
In his opening remarks at the occasion, the convener of the meeting and Group General Manager, Corporate Planning and Strategy Division, Mr. Balawunti, said the essence of the STERCO meeting was to review performance, redefine expectations, identify areas of improvement, and implement actionable items that would boost efficiency and conversely high profitability.
The whole idea is for us to be able to improve commerciality around our corporation, improve efficiency, improve performance, and ultimately lead to high profitability.
On her part, the legal advisor to the corporation, Mrs. Hadiza Komasi, said although there were a lot of work to be done, positives from the STERCO meeting would enable NNPC management to know the current position of corporation and outlook.
I think the essence of this kind of meetings for the corporation is it gives you an oversight of where you are in the scheme of things, because if you don't have this sort of meetings, you won't know where you are and then how to strategize on where you want to be.
We're trying to see how we can reduce cost, especially demurrage. We've highlighted some of our challenges which had to do with some of the agencies, but we are really grateful to the GMD. So I hope with all this it will go a long way to solve some of our problems, because the problem of demurrage has to do with delays.
The next STERCO meeting comes up in August this year. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has disowned a recruitment advertisement currently trending in the social media. The advertisement, set in NNPC's corporate color with its logo, invites candidates with background in sciences, engineering, business, finance, social sciences, arts, humanities, as well as medical health sciences to apply, giving required educational attainment of prospects to include master's degree, bachelor's degree, higher national diploma HND, and national diploma. Describing the advertisement as phantom, the corporation called on unsuspecting members of the public to be wary of the scam. NNPC advised members of the public to disregard any announcement of recruitment or invitation to recruitment interview appearing in the social media, saying the corporation was not carrying out any recruitment exercise now. The corporation reminded job seekers to note the antics of scammers who deploy such communication strategies as text messages, vacancy announcements on social media platforms, as well as forged letters inviting job seekers for non-existing job interviews with a view to extorting money from them. NNPC cautioned that any applicant who entertained such invitations would have himself or herself to blame, encouraging those who had already fallen victims to volunteer information to the law enforcement agencies. The corporation stated that as an equal opportunities going concern, it would, as usual, advertise vacancies in the corporation through the national dailies. A In 4 consecutive days, beginning Monday 30th April to Thursday 3rd May 2018, a team of dedicated exhibitors from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) were on ground at the 50th edition of the Offshore Technology Conference (OTC) to market the corporation. Upon their feet and attending to the surging crowds till the last seconds of the event, the NNPC team joined other 2,500 exhibitors from across the world in competing for the attention of more than 70,000 attendees. In all this, invaluable lessons were learnt from the numerous interactions and interface with the international oil and gas community. While the event was in session, Oil and Gas Forum took time out to listen to some members of the NNPC exhibition team drawn from across the corporation's value chain.
I want to thank GMD. Yesterday he was here, leading the Nigerian delegation, stopped over and encouraged us. Today he is here in his role as a Bayelsan, again to underscore the importance of using technology to create jobs and attract investments to our country.
This is one of the primary reasons why NNPC is the key enabler for growing the local industry in terms of the skills, the competence, the opportunities, and bringing world-class standards and world-class business concepts into the local industry.
It's actually very important for NIPEX to be at OTC because at OTC we are able to see most of our, if not all, our stakeholders. We are able to meet with the approvers, we are able to meet with the suppliers, we are able to meet with foreign companies who actually wish to do business in the upstream oil and gas sector in Nigeria.
Also, Mr. D. Prietaria, Managing Director, Integrated Data Services Limited upstream subsidiary of the NNPC, shares some useful takeaways from OTC 2018.
Our business is always evolving technologically, so there are advances in technology. So we've come essentially to see how we can look at new technologies that will enable us operate more effectively and more efficiently to deliver higher bottom line to the company IDSL and by extension to NNPC. Our coming to OTC is aligned to the objective of the federal government of Nigeria to bring investment to Nigeria, for Nigerians to create partnerships, for Nigerians to learn about new technology.
Even the former group managing director of the corporation had something to say about the conference.
I've been to OTC several times, even when I was in service and since I retired, and it's improving. We expect NNPC to be more and more commercialized, and that's why we are showing off what we can do to the rest of the world.
Samson Makoji, General Manager, External Relations Department of the Group Public Affairs Division, described OTC 2018 as refreshingly different from past events.
All the 4 days, as far as I'm concerned, carry equal weight because all of them were loaded with high-level activities.
The Peng NNPC Corporate Headquarters Branch has commended the Group Managing Director of the Corporation, Dr. Mekanti Baru, and his management team for ensuring seamless petroleum product availability nationwide. The Peng NNPC Branch Chairman, Comrade Ibe Emmanuel Uche, gave the commendation during the just concluded 4th Quadrennial Delegates Conference of the Union in Owerri, Imo State. Comrade Uche said through his 12 business focus areas, the GMD has succeeded in moving the NNPC forward, assuring that the unions would continue to partner with the management to enable the corporation meet its national aspirations. He urged the management to intensify its drive to diversify and explore the renewable energy, stressing that emerging trends such as the use of shale technology and the gradual shift from the use of fossil fuels to green energy call for more dynamism in the industry. Declaring the conference open, Group Managing Director of NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, represented by the General Manager Security Department, Barrister Sam Otoneze, assured Nipeng of the management's readiness to continue to work together with them in delivering value to the country through the hydrocarbon resources. point of the conference was the swearing in of the newly elected executives.
The previous one set in 2013.
Hello, welcome to the feedback segment of the program. My name is Julia Auta. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Dr. Mekan Tibaru, has been on board for the past 22 months. On today's edition, our crew sought to find out from the public what they will say to the GMD if they meet him.
The GMD of NNPC. Well, I'll greet him. The first thing I have to greet him, then I appreciate him for all he's been doing. At least the stability has brought in the price of the petrol. Now you can walk to any filling station and get petrol. And the market force has even driven the price down. Can get it at 43, 42, and 45 some other places. Having done that, you know one thing, the GMD, I'll not let him go until he bless me.
I will say to him that I need a job, because having business is not enough for me, but when he gives me a job, that job will help me to go a long way.
I cannot give him that glory alone. You understand? If I'm going to give Baru, I must give Kashiku. If I give Kashiku, I must give Muhammadu Buhari. Okay. You understand? They are the three people. You understand? They will have to share it. I know the three of them, the trio, they mean well for the country, because the mainstay of Nigeria's economy is that oil.
Well, partner with Bistan Group to make sure all their staff own a property with us, a house. They have a shelter over their head.
My advice to him is for him to see how he can come into alliance with the policymakers, to see how they can come out with friendly policies that will make fuel not only available alone, but also at affordable prices.
If I'm one of his aides, I'll tell him to create a town hall meeting in every area where there is exploration and exploration of oil and gas, so that he'll be able to have a one-on-one opinion on what's actually happening.
Under this present political dispensation, there is a kind of confidence imposed on him in order for him to fix that sector. You understand? To some certain extent, I would say he has tried his best.
Seriously, I would tell you, well done, sir. You've tried a lot for Nigeria. I mean, we had 4 issues months ago, but right now you're able to resolve the 4 issues. I will appreciate him for what he has done for our beloved country, Nigeria. It's still my country. Plurality of ideas, you would say. That's the much we can accommodate on this segment. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hello and welcome to this segment of the program. My name is Abigail Ojogo. Did you know that the 1977 indigenization decree made NNPC to control majority stake in the entire Nigerian oil and gas industry? The NNPC's operation was examined by the 1980 crude oil.
Checking the illegal trade in endangered species have been recommended by secretariats of the Convention of Endangered Species of Wild.
PC created subsidiaries for exploration and exploitation, refining and petrochemicals, gas, marine transportation, research and engineering. Despite the global oil glut in the early 1980s, the NNPC found itself on a stronger commercial footing. Did you know that NNPC also took an increasingly active role in the country's gas sector and consolidated its liquefied natural gas holding to 60%? Now you know. Please stay tuned for the rest of the program.
Hello, welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices eased slightly Thursday, following a rally in the previous session, as investors eyed a surprise increase in U.S. crude oil inventories and looked to a possible rise in output when OPEC and other producers meet in June. Brent crude futures were down 38 cents, or 0.5%, at $77.12 per barrel, after settling the last session by 2.8%. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures were down 20 cents or 0.3% at $68.01 per barrel in the previous session. It settled up $1.48 or 2.2% at $68.21 per barrel. Global inventories have been broadly falling, but U.S. crude stockpiles rose by 1 million barrels in the week to May 25 to 434.9 million barrels. According to data from Industry Group, the American Petroleum Institute API, that beat analyst expectations for a decrease of 525,000 barrels. A possible output increase by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC and non-OPEC members including Russia has been in focus. Saudi Arabia, the factor leader of OPEC, and Russia have discussed boosting output by some 1 million barrels per day. OPEC and some non-OPEC producers have committed to curbing their output by about 1.8 million barrels per day until the end of 2018, but they will meet in Vienna in June 22 to discuss whether their commitment should remain unchanged. A Gulf source familiar with the thinking of Saudi Arabia said OPEC and its allies aimed to continue their agreement to cut oil output through to the end of the year, although are amenable to adjust their position to offset any supply shortfall if necessary. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Solomon, your pave.
Security Exchange the GMO of NMPC. Well, I'll greet him. The first thing I have to greet him, then I appreciate him for all he's been doing. At least the stability has brought in the price of the petrol. Now you can walk to any filling station and get petrol.
Well, that's been all and gas for this week. Thanks for joining us. The weekend officially starts now. Two sides to it, the profitable and the rewarding. Whichever side you find yourself, please enjoy it. Bye now.
NTA2Lagos Network Center.
Being a parent is a wonderful experience, yet one of the most daunting tasks in the world. A parent, be it a father or a mother, biological or adoptive, requires a lot of effort to instill moral values, discipline, social and domestic skills, money management skills, hygiene and healthy routines in children to enable them grow into responsible adults who will be capable of making wise decisions within and outside the family circle. As the world celebrates the Global Day of Parents today, the 1st of June 2018, let's all join hands to appreciate our parents for their positive contributions to our lives.
Well, for bed, she come and make clothes, say make you sleep, my begin.
Remember,
Stars, we scored our first goal ever at our very first World Cup.
Good evening and welcome to NTA2 News. I am Dotun Okmeyemi. The Nigeria Air Force says it is repositioning for operational efficiency to adequately face the security challenge facing the nation. Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, stated this in Lagos as he inaugurated some operational facilities for officers and men. Lynn Lileke reports.
To achieve enhanced operational proficiency in air power, the officers and men of the Air Force require a conducive environment within which to operate. Not surprisingly, therefore, the Nigerian Air Force is being proactive in pursuing its internal security mandate. Towards this end, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, inspected some operational facilities for enhanced presence and achieving its security mandate. Air Marshal Abubakar pointed out that efforts of the federal government in equipping the military arm of government is yielding positive results.
Permit me at this point to appreciate the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, for his continuous support to the military, especially the Nigerian Air Force, through the provision of the platforms that I just talked about and logistics support to operate them. We have recently received some new platforms while awaiting the delivery of others.
While inspecting the two X-NAV and C-130 aircraft currently undergoing periodic depot maintenance, the Air Chief stressed that maintenance of fighter aircraft is key to counterinsurgency operations in the Northeast. He therefore inaugurated the accommodation for airmen and women, emphasizing that the welfare of personnel is of utmost importance and will continue to be prioritized.
Professionalism is not just about equipment, it's not just about training. It's most importantly about the human beings. Because the human being is the most important resource. If he's not taken care of, chances are that he will not be effective. And that is why we believe that there will be massive intervention, not only in Shasha, certainly in Shasha, and in other units all over the country.
The visit of the Chief of Air Staff was to ascertain the level of progress of various projects and to boost the morale of personnel. In Lagos, Lynn Lileke, NTA News.
Still on security, the 81 Division Nigerian Army, Lagos, has intercepted 3 lorries laden with about 5 tons of live ammunition. The consignment was intercepted following a tip-off at Balogun village during a combined anti-illegal bunkering and anti-pipeline vandalism operation between Lagos and Ogun State.
The arrest of the trucks conveying thousands of live cartridges was made in the line of duty of the men of 81 Division Nigerian Army in their continued effort to crack down on pipeline vandals, criminal elements and cultists operating within the Lagos and Ogun State axis. Brigade Commander 5 Artillery Brigade Abeokuta, Brigadier General Olani Olatunde, who displayed the seized items and contents of newsmen in Lagos, said the destination of the lorries has remained unknown because on sighting the troops at Balogun village along Igbogila Ilasa Road in Ogun State, the drivers and the occupants fled into the bush, abandoning the trucks.
It's about 300,000. No, the point of entry is Ilala. That is a border town in Nigeria, close to Benin Republic. There will be investigation. And we'll start from the registration number plates of the vehicles, and maybe if we are lucky, if we see some other documents that will assist us, beautiful. And we also on the heels of those that we saw.
The live cartridges packed in boxes and cartons were carefully sealed up inside specially constructed compartments underneath the trucks. The brigade commander conveyed the gratitude of the general officer commanding 81 Division, Major General Enobong Okonodo, to Nigerians for their continued cooperation with the joint forces to rid the country of all forms of criminality. The operation was a joint effort of the Nigerian Army, the Police, Department of State Security, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps.
Naval warships from China, France, Portugal, Ghana, Togo, Cameroon, and host Nigeria participated in the second Nigerian Navy Regional Sea exercise carried out in the Gulf of Guinea. Correspondent Annie Daniels, who was on one of the warships, reports that it is to prepare them to confront emerging security challenges in the Gulf of Guinea.
Naval warships stimulates the interdiction of a vessel engaged in illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activity in the Gulf of Guinea. It was the high point of the sea exercise, codenamed Exercise Ekukube. China, France, Portugal, Cameroon, Ghana and Togo each deployed one warship, while the Nigerian Navy deployed a fleet of 18 warships with 2 helicopters. For about 29 hours, the combined naval forces simulated a variety of operations ranging from gunnery to fleet maneuvering. Exercise Ekukube is aimed at promoting regional cooperation and coordination for the enhancement of maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Iboketebas at the flag off in Lagos said the Gulf of Guinea is confronting several security challenges, including piracy and bunkering.
Tackling threats like this one across national borders and the protection of resources and economic activities in the Gulf of Guinea is a collective responsibility of our nation in the region.
The exercise was part of activities marking the 62nd anniversary of the Nigerian Navy in Lagos. Annie Daniels, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is appreciating Nigerians for being consistent in supporting the governing APC as it continued to chart a pragmatic course for sustainable national development. This was while hosting members of the Nigerian business community and party leaders to the breaking of Ramadan fast. Adamu Sambo reports.
Addressing his audience made up of captains of industry and leaders of the various political parties, President Muhammadu Buhari expressed gratitude to Nigerians for their understanding, support and cooperation to his administration. He said, despite the daunting challenges inherited, the governing APC has done so much with so little, but assured the people that the best is yet to come.
I am very pleased that we haven't lost focus from our campaign promises.
You try for this your body, try for this your body, baby, why your body for me, why your body for love you what you do, baby girl, I wanna please you, the only thing waiting for my mind, now which kind bring you up for God, you bring you up for God, when you make me want to spend my money, I don't feel wait to spend my money, oh yeah baby, make you rock am, oh yeah baby, make you rock am, oh yeah auntie, make you shake am, oh yeah auntie, make you shake am, see bedroom, make you roll am, see bedroom, make you roll am, see money, make you drop am, see money, make you drop am, oh yeah baby, make you rock am, oh yeah baby, make you rock am, oh yeah auntie, make you shake am, oh yeah auntie, make you shake am, see bedroom, make you roll am, see bedroom, make you roll am, see money, make you drop am, see money, make you drop am, Mr. Fantastic, I can fight for you like Jackie Chan, now you look my motto, if you shake it for me you can have it, oh Jehovah, see your body like Bugatti, I got it goodie, come faji with a large, when you follow your body, when you hear the pedal for party, when you love your daddy, call your mommy, make everybody feel to jolly, you got to study, if you feeling the beat, make you ready, yeah, the baby king, baby show the baby say you sabi, been around the world, I've never seen no one like you, baby boo, you turning me on, no more you try for this your body, try for this your body, baby why your body for me, why your body for love you what you do, baby girl I wanna please you, the only thing waiting for my mind, now which kind bring you up for God, you bring you up for God, when you make me be like Saddam, madam. You be pushing, madam, I no mind to the waste all my cash, madam, madam. Take my Swiss account, now your name be my Louis, madam, madam. You the boss, madam. Assalamu alaikum, salam. We are follow your body when you hear the pedal for party. Call your daddy, call your mommy, make everybody feel to shawty. You got to study, if you feeling the beat, make you ready. Clap your hands, baby, baby, show the baby say it's happy. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See money, make you drop 'em. See money, make you drop 'em. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See money, make you drop 'em. See money, make you drop 'em. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, baby, make you rock 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. Oh yeah, auntie, make you shake 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See back, you make you roll 'em. See money, make you drop 'em. See money, make you drop 'em.
JP's production.
Hey, mama, you just stay for sure. You get this more money. You come back go again. This is my party. You change down for me. Send my party. Rearrange down for me. I don't know, mama. I don't know, papa. That's so money they change. 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 But nobody will not fit to make up. Nobody will not fit to make up. Nobody will not fit to make up. Brother. Blessing follow, Alubarika, follow, plenty money, fine lady, nobody will not fit to make a move. Nobody will not fit to make a move. Nobody will not fit to make a move, sister. Some people forget people will help them. Some people don't say people will help them. But remember people will help you. Cause if you fall now them will still rise you. Forget money big gapa. And they taking when they walk out. They carry big kaka. They will be by their mama rapper. Forget say you get now. Oh, get the leg now. That's so money they change. 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 Nobody will not fit to make up. Nobody will not fit to make up. Nobody will not fit to make up. Brother. Blessing for them. Nobody will not fit to make a move, brother. Nobody will not fit to make a move. Nobody will not fit to make
of them are my mentor, so I always listen to a song. Because to me, I think I like the kind of music they do, and I just like to do a collab with them and be in the studio with them also. So just to cook up some vibe. Mostly, you know, as an upcoming artist, when you go to show, the bouncer, they will bounce you. And if you are not invited to the show and you want to try to talk to the MC or the DJ, let them allow you to perform. Still, you still have to, but not all DJs and MC do that. But some, they will still like to collect money from you, but they won't help you. So that's it. Yeah, my advice for every upcoming artist or everybody outside there, just believe, pray, work hard and focus. Yeah. But you have to pray lots. Pray lots.
Remember the passion Rashidi Yekini says when he scored our first goal ever at our very first World Cup. Remember Agawa's goal and his thrilling acrobatic flips and how we joined in the celebration with excitement. Another World Cup year, another chance to go all the way. To seize the moment, our moment. Catch every moment of all 64 games of the World Cup live on HD for just 1,300 Naira on Star Times, official broadcast partner of the Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup. Subscribe your Star Time decoder to stand a chance to win 1 million Naira and many more consolation prizes every week. Win more with give and take jackpot prize of 15 million Naira. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Being a parent is a wonderful experience, yet one of the most daunting tasks in the world. A parent, be it a father or a mother, biological or adoptive, requires a lot of effort to instill moral values, discipline, social and domestic skills, money management skills, hygiene and healthy routines in children to enable them grow into responsible adults who will be capable of making wise decisions within and outside the family circle. As the world celebrates the Global Day of Parents today, the 1st of June 2018, let's all join hands to appreciate our parents for their positive contributions to our lives.
NTA2Lagos Network Center brings you broadcast service wherever and whenever through our social media platforms, now live on just a click away. Global news, sports, business reports, politics, issues, events and happenings around the world, your favorite past and present TV programs, drama, documentaries, and for your news headlines, log on to www.youtube.com/NTA2Lagos. Watch, download, comment, and subscribe free. It's simply www.NTA2Lagos and explore our world of news and events. Available in all smartphones, iPads, and all Android phones. Like our Facebook page, NTA2Lagos Network Center. You can tweet us at NTA2LMC. NTA2Lagos Network Center, your reach out station.
Yeah.
watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA. You can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Nigerians living in rural communities are said to live in poverty. Most of them are women, children, or the elderly who cannot afford the basic necessities of life. For many of these Nigerians, due to their economic status, getting a means of livelihood is harder than ever. As an immediate stopgap initiative, the federal government, through CCT, the Conditional Cash Transfer, a cluster under the Social Investment Program, commenced the payment of 5,000 naira monthly stipends to the poorest and most vulnerable households in society, with the aim of taking them out of poverty.
What we do basically is I transfer cash and capacities to the poorest of the poor to break the generational poverty line. So the government provides support for their consumption.
By this initiative, beneficiaries like Ezekiel Shatari from Taraba State are able to quickly address pain points before it's too late.
Dama ban da kudin sayen karfe kuma na sayi waɗansu karafuna wadda ta taimaka mini, ina buga wukake, ina buga kayaki daban-daban wadda ma jama'a suna iya zuwa su saya.
Since its commencement, the Conditional Cash Transfer has disbursed funds to over 300,000 households and is targeted at supporting 1 million of the most vulnerable and poorest Nigerians.
We have a lot of people that want to work hard, but they just need that small stipend. It's amazing how much 5,000 can do for a family in a month.
As a collaborative effort between all levels of government, it is expected of states to key into the scheme for the sake of the needy.
First of all, we train the state and train the local government officers. It is the local government officers that go to communities to train the beneficiaries on the various trainings which